We have a small box today. This is supposed to be a General Electric guide light, Nightlight, from the 1970s. And I say supposed to be because this came from stupid eBay, so it's probably a scam. For all I know, the little box could be empty. It sure feels empty, but we're going to find out together whether or not this is a scam. I really hate that site. I use it as an absolute last resort option if I can't find something else after searching for it for years on every other available platform. It's just so full of dishonest, unethical, greedy people and scams and nonsense. Now this listing, let's see. Okay, it's in there. So this listing was a scam as well. It was a scam because, well, the title says, you know, just like every other title on that stupid site, rare, vintage, Art Deco 1920s nightlight. Really? 1920s? Half the world didn't even have electricity yet. If a nightlight was made in 1920, it would have been made of glass and cast iron, not stinking plastic. Now, I was talking to Ed recently, and he said that he has tried to convince some of these people on eBay that their prices and their titles are wrong, and it never goes anywhere. And I know better than to do that. I spent over a decade of my life in customer service. I know you can't fix stupid, so don't even try. So this was listed as a rare, vintage, 1920s, Art Deco, steampunk, whatever the heck buzzwords they put in the dumb title, Nightlight. And I know it's not any of that, but that's what it was described as. And then there was the make an offer button. I don't know why, because the seller doesn't accept offers. I think it was listed at originally for $45, so I put an offer for $35, declined, $37, declined, $40, declined, $42, declined. So then why put the button? You know, if you want to put something on the internet and try to sell it for a ridiculous price, that's your prerogative. You're entitled to do that. But if you're not interested in accepting offers, why put the button? It's dumb. Now, $1 or $2, $3, whatever it was, is not going to make or break my decision to buy the item. But in concept, I wouldn't buy that auction anymore because that's just not a reasonable way to conduct business. Anyways, eBay rant out of the way. Let's take a look at this 1970s, not 1920s, Nightlight. I originally saw this at Russ's house a couple years ago, and I finally asked him about it last time I was over there, and we actually did a video, and I'll put a link to that video in this description box so you can go take a look at that video as well. It's got his backstory of why he likes these, and I think an inflation calculator screenshot to show what these are worth today compared to what these originally sold for. They sold for about $3 back in the 1970s, so that would put them to be worth about $15 today, not 45, you know. And then that was the other thing. It says rare in the title, but then there's like 50 other ones for sale, so they can't be that rare. Anyways, that aside, it's a pretty cool piece. It's a neon nightlight. And so anyways, after I saw the one at his house, which I always liked seeing, I said, I got to get myself one of those. So I've been searching and searching different places, scouring all the OK Wills in the area, looking on the Digitan OK Will website for months and months and months now, and I've not been able to find one. And then the video he made of this came on my homepage a couple days ago, and I finally said, I just gotta have to order one on stupid eBay. So here it is, the General Electric guide light. This one is in kind of crummy condition. I think we can probably clean this up a little bit to make it look a little better. It's very yellowed, of course. You know, if it was in a sunny or humid environment, that'll do it. It's supposed to work. Hopefully it does. I'm not sure. There's not much information on this to speak of. It is UL listed, 1/4 watt, and there's the General Electric logo. What once was the trademark of quality, now the trademark of mostly garbage. GE branded plug. So let's plug this in and see if it works. This probably doesn't even draw enough power for it to register on the meter here. No, it does work. Yeah, it doesn't even draw enough power to register on the meter. So that's what it looks like. Let me turn the lights off here. It is a neon bulb in there, not DEL. And this is another great example of why DEL is not the best thing since sliced bread, because we already had Nightlights 50 years ago that are rated for 1/4 watt of power. For some reason along the way we went away from this and went to a 4-watt incandescent bulb, and then we go back to stupid DEL, or go to stupid DEL for the first time, and people will say, oh, this is so great, it hardly draws any power. Well, we already had it. We had it 50 years ago, and this, unlike the DEL garbage, actually lasts a long time. The coloring on this camera is not quite correct. It's a orange color. It's coming up lighter, more like a yellow on the camera preview than it is in person. That's unfortunate. I can't seem to get a good picture of this. You know what I'll do? I'll modify it in the editor so that it's got the correct white balance. It's not very bright, but just like the name implies, it's enough to guide you down a hallway or something in the middle of the night if you needed to move around the house for whatever reason. And it just plain looks cool. You know, it's got a little bit of character to it, a neat neon glow. You don't see nightlights like this anymore. If you get a nightlight today, it's a stupid little white piece of junk. This actually had character. And it's nice and small too. If you plug this into your outlet, it's not going to eat up the entire plug. You know, you just stick this in here like that, and it doesn't interfere with your other outlet whatsoever. You know what? Now it's pretty much capturing it the way it looks in person. It's very, very orange in color. A neat little piece. Yeah, we should be able to get some of that dirt out of the cracks and make it look a little better. It does look like the plastic is kind of starting to break down there, but it's still structurally sound, so it's good for now. We'll just plug it in, and it's probably one of those things we'll never mess with it. And there's no reason to. It's neon. You just let it run. I think that neon. Does neon wear out when you start it? Is it like a regular fluorescent? I don't know. It probably is, because you got to send an igniter through it to start it up. So it probably does experience most of its wear when you first turn it on. So we'll probably just leave this plugged in all the time. Here's where it's going to live, in the hallway. And since it's a nice orange color, it's a soft color, it shouldn't be disruptive while I'm trying to sleep. And it's just be a nice soft light to be able to see to get into the bathroom if I need to. Let me turn this other light off here and see if we can tell how bright this is. Yeah, it just gives a nice little soft glow. Very dim, but it's enough to see in complete pitch darkness.